is on.
Greetings and welcome to Stunt Hangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter and I'll be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for you watching Stunt Hangar Video Hangouts. If you are watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunt Hangar Forum member to find the link to attend the after party. Here at Stunt Hangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. Hang on, Lynn. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunt Hangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. If you are not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. You must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address or Sparky, the proprietor of Stunt Hangar, will not approve you. If you are inclined to not come in and just enjoy watching us on YouTube, wonderful, fantastic. Please enter your comments or questions in the chat box, and I'll do my best to make your comments a part of the show. Now, understand, sometimes I can't get a word in myself, so be patient. I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comment. Now, if you find Stunt Hangar Video Hangouts or the many building videos that Sparky does on this platform informative and enjoyable, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and share the videos. That helps the channel grow. Please consider joining our YouTube channel memberships starting at $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. Your support helps offset some of the expenses of running Stunt Hangar. With your memberships, you get special badges on the YouTube chat box, unlimited replay of member-only videos, and once a month, Sparky has a Q&A show for members only. You can also use the Super Chat, which is located at the bottom of the chat box, to make your donations. Thank you for your past, your present, and future support. And please keep the conversations family room friendly. And in other words, please don't use words you wouldn't say around your children or grandchildren. And without any further ado, I'm going to post the link at the Stunt Hangar Forum right now. And I have someone knocking on my door here. That's Lynn Burrell. Just a minute, Lynn. I'm going to post the link. Post. Okay. And let me get you in here, Lynn. All right. All right.
Hey, Charles.
Hey, Lynn, how are you, man?
I'm very well. I wanted to come on early and have a chat with you just for a second because before it gets busy. The
Okay.
deal is that it's very hard for me to do this now because of the fact that when I come on and there's a lot of people on here, they can't hear me and I can't hear them. It gets very frustrating. It's
I
not
can.
working. It's not working very well for me. So as long as you understand that sometimes I
Oh,
get a little frustrated because I can't hear it, and then somebody says something and then I can't hear it and they can't hear me, and it's just like it's brutal.
yeah. I know. I've been asking for us to grow,
Yeah,
and I got to figure out what the limit is, and
yeah.
I understand that because even I think it was Eddie last Friday, he was talking over people, not deliberately, but it's
No,
probably
no,
because of the delay that he couldn't
exactly.
tell that people were talking.
Oh
Probably,
yeah,
as far as he was concerned, it was quiet, and
that's
so
right.
he didn't know he was stepping on other people's words, and that's
That's right.
again nothing against him. I'm going to allow
So
Brendan. He's knocking on the door. Just hang on a second.
yeah, no problem.
Is on.
Hey, Brendan,
How we doing?
doing well. And Lynn and I are just talking about growing pains, and that
Hey,
as
Brendan.
it gets crowded and congested, I guess there's delays, and so he couldn't. Sometimes that person can't hear us and we can't hear them because of the delay. And so just bear with me if you find the same frustration. Uh, I might have to cut it off at a certain number that I know that either my system can handle or the system can handle. So
Yeah, like we've had some huge numbers lately, which is great, but
yes, and not everyone's been showing up. I mean, here comes John Miller, here comes Gary, here comes Eddie.
here they come.
Hey, you know what? I'm loving. What a nice problem to have. What a nice problem.
Hey, John.
Hey, how you doing? Looks like I'm locked up here.
Yeah, you're
I'm gonna back up.
okay. Sounds good. Well, hey, hi Gary, how you doing?
All right.
And Gary, I saw the email, but I have not opened it up yet, so I don't know what is in the email. So I don't want you to feel I am ignoring you, or I don't know what it is. I assume it's the proof, like you said, but I haven't had a chance to look at it. And hi Eddie, how you doing, Eddie?
Doing good. How y'all?
Good.
Good.
Eddie, Gary, how's it going?
I think we all might need to have to kind of help me out in that when we start having phase outs or buffering or delays, then we have too many people, kind of a thing, because it can be very frustrating that people can't hear others and no one can hear them, kind of a thing. And again, I'm not asking anyone to bow out. We just got to figure out what the numbers are. But I'm actually letting people in, so I could just not let anyone else in once we get to congestion. But I don't know what that number is yet. I know we was averaging around 16 people.
That's amazing.
Yeah, isn't that great? I don't know. I mean, this has been the last 2 weeks has been 16.
Might have to get two forms going.
You know what? That's a possibility.
State for that run next cycle. Seditionist ex-president.
You're going to have to turn off your radio or TV, John.
Sorry about that.
You're going to get me copyrighted, man. Or get Sparky copyrighted. Then you have two short guys on your butt.
In their opinion, make the country a better place.
Come on.
You can just mute your speaker, just mute your mic until you turn it off, John.
It's not coming through the mic.
I'll mute you then, John. I'm sorry. You're muted, John.
Yeah, if he can't do it, you'll have to do it for him.
Yeah, I'll have to. I can do it quickly. I'm pretty.
That's right.
It's the matter of me hitting that mouse.
Hey, I got a quick question before it gets too crowded and like I say, be talking over everybody.
Yes, Eddie.
I got some plans from SIG. I got the plans for my Super Chipmunk because I only got a partial of them from Mike. And then I also bought the Banshee plans. My brother, my brother had a Banshee, and his plans.
Hi, Peter, by the way.
Turned into.
Oh, yeah, it looks like
a jelly cheese. So I bought the plans, but they came folded. What's the best way to iron them out? Is it use a towel, or do you need to dampen it some, or whatever? I mean, I just don't want to mess up the lines on it.
Are you talking about new plans that come folded?
Yeah.
I've never had to use any heat. They just flatten out eventually, and just rubbing them on a flat glass or something, they will flatten out. But I imagine
lay them out for a couple of days.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
if you just lay them out for a while, they should settle.
Yeah, because they're this small package. It felt like a deadgum book when I got it. Zach, my son said, "Did you order a book?" I was like, "No, it's got your name on it." And I looked at it and it said SIG. I'm like, "Oh, that's my plans." I mean, that darn thing was that thick because they had it folded up so many times.
Yeah, that's understandable. When I put my plans away, I fold them up and I put them in a pretty large Ziploc bag to try to keep the air out so they can kind of, age gently. And I
I've got
think
mine rolled up in shipping tubes.
that's a great idea too.
Yeah, me
That
too.
that takes a lot of room. I mean, it's just amazing how over time, and I imagine all of you can attest to this, you get so many plans that becomes a problem.
That's
right?
me.
Yeah, same here. I got so many plans, and so I just been folding them up flat, and I put them in a lateral file cabinet, and try to get the air out of these bags to get them to flat to go down, and keep adding more and more, and just hoping I don't ever have a fire. I have scanned a lot of them into PDFs, and they're on my.
Yeah, they burn good.
Yeah, so I've done that.
But yeah, I mean, I've looked at different things on the internet and how to flatten out maps and stuff like that, and they're all saying use low heat with an iron, with a towel over it or a piece of paper over it.
I think that's a good idea.
I just didn't, because that way I could roll it up and put them in my shipping tubes. But I just didn't know. I didn't want to erase the lines. If I iron it down and it ends up like a transfer and transferred it to a towel or something.
Yeah.
I guess I could try. I could try some of
it on
these
a
older
corner.
ones. Try some of these older ones that are cut up and see how it's
Or
going to
just
work.
try it on the corner, on the edge, and see what it does. Like on a straight line or something. You can always draw
I
it
could
back.
try it on this one. It's no good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I mean, and also on this Banshee,
Is on.
I've heard some people saying that you gotta shorten the nose or lengthen the tail or something.
Depends on what you want to run on it.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
What do you want to run on it?
Probably an LA-40.
Shorten the nose.
Yeah, shorten the nose up a little bit.
What are you putting it on?
LA-40 he says.
No, what airplane?
A Banshee.
Banshee.
What you want to do? Shorten the nose is you want to fill a hole for the wing. First, make a tracing of the hole. Fill the hole with a wing, glue that up, and then move it forward 1.5 inches. And put a new hole.
So don't shorten the nose. Just move the wing forward.
Right.
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
That works. Yeah.
And in turn, that will also lengthen the tail moment.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which would be an upgrade, which would be good. I have a Banshee, and I was in the middle of doing that. Actually, it's and I think I eventually got rid of the plane, but I was going to fill the hole and move it just like John suggested.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could definitely
Otherwise,
use
it always comes out nose heavy, and it's a problem.
Well, like I say, it's not a kit, so I wouldn't have to fill the hole. All I got to do is slide the hole forward 1.5 inches.
Yeah, that's right.
Then cut it.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's perfect.
You guys, let me catch up on the chat box. Looks like Andrew Sketcher says, "Hi, Charles." Hey, Andrew. And then Mike Lonke, he said something, but he retracted it, so I don't know what he was saying. And then he said, "I iron every set I use." And then he goes on to say, "Lay down a beach towel and put the plans on top of it. Iron on low setting." Hi, Mike. Hi, Mike Lonke. And then, hi, Brent Williams. And Brent says, "Move the wing forward, not shorten the nose. Much better results." So obviously we have we're all in agreement.
Consensus. Yeah.
Consensus. That's,
Okay.
that would be the optimal way to do it, is do that.
That'll work. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. So we have great minds thinking alike in this case. That's good.
That's what this forum's great. You get enough different viewpoints, you finally find something that works really well, just because a lot of people seem to know what the best thing is to do.
Yeah. You know what? Really, I wanted to say something on live stream. I really like the idea that was said last time by Tryon about how to tape the flaps. Did you hear that, Lynn? That technique that Tryon talked about, and then
Taping the flaps, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I didn't know about that. I might have heard it or read it before, but it slipped my mind. And
Yeah.
I'm really excited about doing that on both sides, top and bottom. You know, having the back part kind of not actually attaching to the moving control surface, but just having the wind press it down, right?
That's a
Yeah.
real good way of doing it, Charles. What it does is you have no springiness from the tape or anything on your controls. It just slides like that. Just keeps the. I remember reading about that on in what was it? Stunt News, I think it was maybe 10, 15 years ago. Somebody started doing that.
Okay, another question. Do you do it on the elevator too, or just the flaps?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Both.
absolutely. Everything.
Both. Okay.
Everything. Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Hey, Mark, how you feeling?
Good, buddy.
How
Oh,
those
that is.
neat.
I'm
I'm
hanging
so
in there.
excited to hear about that. I know that you know some people have really struggled with COVID, so that's great. You know, I'm really happy to hear you're doing well. That's really awesome.
Yeah, I have to say it's good days and bad days still with the energy. That's my biggest thing is that the kind of daily fog
Yeah,
and the loss of energy. I just can't figure that out.
yeah. It just takes
So
time. My friend had it, and then he complained about the same thing.
Yeah,
And then last time I talked to him, he played tennis for a good amount of time. You know, so it'll come back. It just it just takes time to develop your stamina again.
yeah.
at my age, it's that way all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Foggy, can't remember nothing.
It's good practice then, I guess, right?
Yeah. You might as well get used to it while you're young.
Exactly. It's kind of a catch-22. You know, my surgery's scheduled for next week, so that's
Oh,
good because
good.
I finally done the pre-op again today, and you know, so that's good. I mean, still need to walk around some, you know, try to stay you know, active beforehand. But it's like a catch-22. I kind of get short of breath because of this, you know, the kung flu, you know, and yeah, and then the knee gives out when I start to feel good. So I'm ready to be over with this stuff. Get this surgery
Oh
done
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So,
and get
are you
outside.
having replacement surgery or just surgery?
Yeah, a replacement.
Okay.
My wife went through that. She had both of them replaced at the same time.
Oh wow.
And
Yeah.
even with all the pain she went through, she said it was the best thing she ever did for herself.
That's what the doctor even told me. He said, "Look," he said, "it's gonna really suck for 2 weeks. It's gonna suck. There's no way around it. You know, but you're gonna be so glad in the end. So it's good, very good."
In the end, yeah.
That's what I'm going to do a bunch of building. I got two. It's funny. We were just talking about the Banshees. I got two Banshees. I'm going to finish up that profile knobbler, and yeah. So I got plenty of things to do. You
That's
know,
good.
And you can
good.
and you got us to tell you what not to do.
That's exactly right. And it really
You just watch. You just watch what we're doing and do it different.
So we have a
Or
new
what they
guest.
call
Oh, there he is. Hey,
Hi,
Phil.
Phil.
Hey guys, how are you?
Doing well.
All right.
Everybody doing all right? I see the COVID monster has.
we're the model airplane peanut gallery.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm slowly coming back to life. You know.
I know. I'm. Yeah, I've heard how that is, and I'm glad to see you back.
Well, thank you. It's glad to be back. You know, it's like I was just telling them about I got me plenty of projects for when I get this knee done, and you know, need to start. It's getting to be good flying weather. Kind of the last couple of days here for us. You know, so
Yeah.
it hadn't been bad. You know.
We've had some mist and rain, but it's been pretty, and you're halfway between us. Well, no, you're further down than my daughter, and she's in Columbia, and she said that it's been beautiful there. So
Yeah. Just I'm probably 30 minutes from Columbia, so yeah.
yeah.
It's,
It was so nice here that I actually got out the gardening tools and chopped some weeds that had died out that I wanted to make sure they didn't come back out of the lawn. So it was nice.
You guys got hit here about a week and a half ago, right? With some nasty minus temperatures.
It was cold, yeah.
Yeah.
We just had 6 inches of rain yesterday.
Oh,
Yesterday.
Yeah. Well, Saturday and Sunday, it was.
There's some guy out there named Noah building a boat.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, he was saying something funny though when he came by. He says, "Only two, only two." He's talking to a rabbit.
You guys, hang on one second. Let me catch up on the chat box. And Tryan's coming in. Hi, Tryan. Greg Biswick says, "Hello, Charles, and hello all. Please ask Eddie to contact me on Stunthangar. He had a question a long time ago while watching Sparky. I can help him out now." So did you get that, Eddie?
Yeah, but I don't remember what question it was.
Maybe he might. And then he goes on to say, this is Craig again, saying, "I have had 2 knee replacements. Just the best thing to do," with exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark.
Well, that's great.
So that's good to hear.
It always helps. Always helps to have people that's had it done, you know.
Yes. Yeah. And you guys, we're at 2, 4, 6, 8. We at 12 right now. And if you can kind of keep an eye on if we start having delays and stuff, so we can kind of determine what's going on. Because all I noticed last week, or I should say Friday, was just people stepping on each other. But I don't think it was deliberate. I think it was just because of the delay. They didn't know that someone else was talking. So they were talking, but they ended up stepping on it. And you out there in the audience or in the chat box, if you can help communicate that to me also, that it's beginning to get bad, let me know. And then we can maybe find the number on that night. And it might be a variable. It might be some nights we can handle 16 and other nights we can't. But I'm happy that we've pressed 16 consecutively 2 weeks in a row. And that's not with everybody. I mean, Bill Cole wasn't in here. We have Robert from Canada wasn't in here. Mark, you wasn't even in here. Mark Lemon, you wasn't even in here, and we had 16. So, and there are other guests I'm sure I haven't mentioned. So let's. I need you guys' help to help me figure this out, and we'll have a happy medium where we can still talk and there's not much of delay, but we can handle it. So need everybody's help in that. Because I really want this to be a good thing. If we have too many people, then it's just a bunch of spaghetti, right?
We can all sit around sing Kumbaya.
Kumbaya. Yeah, it'll sound like a round because we'll all be out of sync.
That'll sound like a round because of the delays.
Yeah, it sounds great.
That's bad. Bad.
Yeah, but Lynn,
So Lynn,
we
we
delay tonight. So usually Lynn is usually the one of the bigger delays, you know. But it doesn't seem like you're delaying at all tonight.
Oh, don't worry, I'm delayed all right.
Oh well, yeah, they do. Okay, you're right.
Hey Lynn, while we're on the same planet,
Yeah,
how's things going over there in Kanekea?
it's going fine. We're just hoping to get the vaccine as soon as possible. It's not looking like it's anytime really soon, but we'll keep hanging in there.
Okay.
That's all we can do.
The needles.
How's your building going? You getting any painting done or what?
Well, I'm going to start painting hopefully tomorrow. I've got all my building pretty well done as of today. I finished rebuilding a junior ringmaster for Naomi that she broke 2 years ago.
Yeah, let's not get on it too big a hurry. Yeah.
Yeah.
How's your P-51 though? You're getting close on your P-51, right, Lynn?
I don't have a P-51. I have a Spitfire.
Spitfire.
Oh, yep. That's like a snafu. Okay, the Spitfire.
He's got a P-50. He got a P-50 Spitfire.
There you go. Heavy.
The Spitfire looks the same as it did last time. I haven't done any more to it because since then I've built a 60 size profile stunter, and I've finished another 60 size airplane I finished covering today that a buddy gave me a few years ago that he wanted me to test fly, a brand new Russian design.
Oh wow, great.
Have you guys ever heard of a KA-10?
Oh yeah, I like how it looks.
Yeah.
Good looking airplane.
That's what I have. You guys want to see it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yes,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I'll bring it up. Hang on.
All right. Sounds good.
Hang
Show
on.
and tell is great.
Love show and tell. It's got that big tall canopy on it.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day, we wondered why do they do that. You know, there's all kinds of theories. You know, like get a little more area in the, towards, you know, ahead of the CG to help with, you know, yaw and keeping it out. You know, there's all kinds of theories. I don't know what the final results were, but they still build them with the big canopy on them.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, what's his name? Anton Gephardt, John?
I know Anton, yeah.
I launched his K10. And
Anton,
I think he had a Super Tiger 60 or 46. I don't remember. But he had
Probably a 60. Jan McDowell had one. It was a Tiger 60. It was one of Tom Dixon's kits or semi kits.
yeah. Anton, I know him well. He kicked my butt 3 years in a row. I couldn't. There's no way. I just couldn't get around him.
Oh,
The
wow.
That's it.
The VF40 arrived from Canada, by the way.
Cool deal.
Oh, nice.
This airplane is massive. It's like 64-inch span. It's a
Wow.
massive thing.
Wow.
Wow.
Bright color.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice looking, Lynn.
It should look.
And what
It
did you
should
cover
fly
again?
okay. It's an inline airplane. The tail and the wing and the engine are all in line.
All
Yep.
in line, I see.
No, yeah.
All in line.
Tiger 60,
No, Evo 60,
Levo 60.
Oh, that's
Evolution
nice.
60.
Is,
Oh, that'd be nice.
is that all monocoque?
Now, Ultra Coat.
Well, yeah.
The only iron-on covering I use is Ultra Coat. I don't like any of the other ones. I have good luck with it, so I use it. I can make a decent wingtip with it, and
Well,
it
that's the
seems
key,
to
right?
hold up well. And it holds up well. Like I've got airplanes that are 13 years old or 12 years old, and the covering still looks good.
Yeah.
So that's good enough for me.
That's good enough for any of us.
Yeah, right.
Well,
Yeah, you bet.
how are the landing gear mounted? I really can't tell how the landing gear are mounted, Lynn.
I don't know. I don't know because I didn't build it. He built
Ah.
it, and it's carbon fiber gear. It's a carbon fiber landing gear strut on both
Bali
sides.
landing gear,
I
but
assume
it's,
I assume it's one piece and it's bolted up in the center of the fuselage.
Oh,
That'd be my
Mhm.
guess.
Okay. Well, your guess is good enough for me.
that's the
Yeah,
same
so
Bali
I'm-
unit
I'm
with
looking-
its swept. Go ahead. With the gear swept that far forward, it looks like a Bali unit, and it's the same one that Barry used in the Big Bear. It's a great
Okay.
landing gear.
Yeah, they're very light and not very big, and
Yeah.
it should be very good. This
Looks like it's
airplane
got
has
some
its,
tiny wheels on it.
maybe two and a quarter.
I guess it's
Maybe
just because it's such a big plane. That's why they look
Big
small.
airplane.
Yeah. Well, it's a 64-inch span.
Yeah.
Big
So that's a
airplane.
long wing.
That's
What does it weigh, man?
wheels look so small.
You guys, one
What's
at a
that,
time.
John?
I'm asking you what the weight is. Have you got the weight with all the parts? That
I was just going to say, as it stands right now, it's 38 ounces without
Oh,
the
nice.
motor or the tank.
Oh, well, that
Nice.
That is light.
So
That's pretty
it's
light.
Now, my new profile that that is in the same stage as this, it's 42. So it's 4 ounces heavier.
Wow.
Wow.
Did I show you guys that plane or not?
Go ahead,
Yeah, you
bring
did.
it up. I think I saw it, but go ahead, bring it up. I see
Yeah, bring it out,
Okay.
Lynn.
Hang on.
If we saw it, somebody I'm sure on here hasn't.
Hey,
So-
Mike, how are you doing this evening? And hi, Tryon.
So,
Hey, Trey.
Phil,
Yes, sir. Hey, how are you?
what's building? You're painting or anything?
I'm working on that humbug right now. As soon as I finish that, I got a Ringmaster 576, and I forgot. Crossfire to finish
Oh,
finish
okay.
painting.
There,
So I'm gonna be busy.
That
I just
576, that has flaps, right?
no, 576D has flaps, the Dixon variant. But I'm not doing the Dixon variant yet. I do have the kit downstairs, but I'm not doing that one yet. It's just a big Ringmaster, but it has a molded leading edge. It looks like a Teosaki wing in it, and it's a huge Ringmaster.
Cool.
But it's a nice airplane, or it looks like it's going to be. So far, it's very light. One thing y'all didn't tell me about that Rust-Oleum paint, boy, that stuff gets heavy quick.
Yeah, well, yeah, you put it on. You don't build it on real quick because it is still it's a water-based acrylic enamel.
Yeah,
it's
boy,
still an enamel.
Yeah, it's still an enamel. The weight adds up real quick. My goodness.
Yeah.
Can't believe how much weight I've added to this thing. Go ahead, Lynn. Let's see that thing. I like the rudder and tail. That's cool.
Kind of looks like a flying fish.
Your lemon shark.
This here is my lemon shark. So it's a lemon lime green. It's a lemon lime green, and it's got a shark tail on it and the whole bit.
Why would you make a lemon shark a lemon lime green color?
Hey, why not?
Because let me
gotta
answer,
have black tips on the wing and the stab and the rudder, though.
Yeah, Lynn, let me answer. Because it was there.
Yeah, it was there. It's the covering I had, and that's what I'm using.
It looks good.
Lemon jello.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey guys, anybody in the mood for a comedic nonsense?
Okay.
I told you about my 2 Joker motors that I ordered from Lingenfeld. What I can't say the name, but anyway, from Austria. They came from Austria to New York and sat in New York for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. They finally got cleared, and they went to New Jersey. They left New Jersey. Wait a minute. You ain't heard nothing yet. They left New Jersey. They went to Greensboro. That's 32 miles that way. They left I'm sorry. They left Greensboro. They went to Greensboro, which is 32 miles that way. They left Greensboro. They went to Jacksonville, Florida.
Whoa.
They left Jacksonville, Florida. They came back to Greensboro. They left Greensboro. They went to Michigan, Detroit, Michigan. As of today, they are en route back to Greensboro. We think. All it said was they're en route. I still don't have those darn motors.
Wow.
You might want to go park there in Greensboro. Maybe catch them when they go by.
Really, they're going to have traveled more air miles in the United States than they did getting to the United States.
Yeah. That's ridiculous. That's like when I used to take a certain airline to get to Washington, D.C., they'd fly me into Atlanta, Georgia, and then from Atlanta, Georgia, back up to D.C. Go figure that one.
Oh, yeah. I remember back in the 70s and 80s, you always went through either Atlanta, Dallas, or Chicago.
Yep.
You couldn't avoid it.
Or Denver.
Well, if you got the other side of the Rockies, yeah, you could go to Denver or LAX or. Well, that was really the 3 that I went to a lot out there. The 2, I never had.
Yeah.
Well, back to DFW. That's true.
South of your destination, just to go back north.
Yeah, it's weird. Go ahead.
I just want to say hi, Denny.
Denny came in.
Charles. Hello, everybody.
Hey,
And
Denny.
I also want to say hi to Howard. Howard, I think Howard is coming in.
Howard came in too. Good deal.
And
Good deal.
And I wanted to ask Brendan, what are you working on, Brendan? I knew you was working on a bislop a while ago, but that's not a bislop anymore.
That's
what is
the trainer?
Yeah, I finished the bislop a couple days ago, but my son's birthday's not till May, so he'll get that in May. But yeah, this is a rugged stunt trainer made by Phil Cartier.
Okay.
Courthouse stuff. So as I understand it, it's kind of the base foam combat wing style. But I've bought probably 6 or 7 of these, and this is what my son and I originally learned on. My wife's learning on it. My daughter's learning on it. It's just incredibly forgiving because you can imagine, one of our first ribbed planes that we got, my son got it not even half a lap, and then it crushed into pieces. So the foam winged planes are just incredible at being able to put light Gorilla Glue on it and just get it back going again.
Where'd you get your first RST from, Brendan?
Yeah, it was Sam's RST. So yeah, at the Brodak event, Monkey taught Angstrom how to fly in a week, and then Sam handed it off to Angstrom at the award ceremony, and we beat the snot out of that plane. We flew it into a fence. We flew it into cement. I mean, we did a number on that thing, but it still flies. So
That's awesome.
Flying into a fence must have been an interesting story.
No, that was great because we flew it on a set of lines, and then I accidentally put on a longer set of lines and didn't realize it. And so the wing clipped the fence, but it kept going. So it's an incredible story that my son remembers of just flying this plane and being tethered to it, one of his first flights, and he's got a one-wing plane that he's flying.
Wow.
So
it's like Tran's got his plane going now.
Yeah, he's got it all hinged up, I guess.
Nice. Yeah, that's nice.
I was talking about flying hitting that fence.
Looks nice, Tran.
Still flying. Back years ago, I mean, I was a teenager at the time, flying Daddy's Cosmic Wind above me. But the Cosmic Wind is the typical Goldberg landing gear on the pegs with the rubber bands holding it.
Yeah, I had a couple. That was my first big airplane.
Yeah, he belly flopped that thing. He did something. I forgot. He's coming out of a loop or something, but belly flopped it. The wheels folded back and punched 2 holes in the wing. Motor kept running. How it did that, I don't know. And of course, then the wheels snapped back. It bounced back up off the ground, and he kept flying it with the paper just streaming behind it. But I thought, man, that thing's tough. And I'm still flying. Right now, it's I took the pegs off and put hard mounts on it, but that's a tough little plane.
You betcha. You know what? The Brodak one isn't very tough, though. It's very light, but if you smack it, it's going to pieces. It'll be everywhere.
This plane here, Daddy's plane, still has the original wooden control horn on the elevators. It's not been changed out or nothing.
That's awesome.
Only thing I've done is repaint it and recovered it. Went from the paper to silk span to monocoat, but she still flies.
I finished a Brodak one last summer.
I was always told.
This one's got a 1957 McCoy Redhead on it. He built that plane in 1962.
I was always told that if he crashed a stunt ship and it didn't turn to dust, he built it too heavy.
Yeah.
No, or you use monocoat and you get a bag of balsa.
A colorful bag to carry the parts home in, yeah.
Well, that's what we always thought monocoat was for, so you could carry your plane home in a bag.
What do you carry? If it's that, Dad, what are you carrying it home for? Just drop it in the pail on the way out.
No, I've had several of them come home in the bag and go back out the next week. In fact, I've gone to the state championships, and my wings to my sailplane be in a bag. And the next morning, I went back to the line with the same sailplane. I'd been up, hadn't had any sleep, but I got that plane fixed. Went back on the line. We won the concours with it Saturday, and Sunday it was back flying again. But a dang hawk decided to just destroy that wing. Legionnaire 140, and the wings were in 4 panels. And a hawk just destroyed the center 2 panels. Oh, man.
Hawk probably didn't come up too well either.
As a beginner flyer, when everybody first started flying, I mean, as you guys know, I'm just starting this stuff. How many planes do you think you went through? I'm going to try to get a comparison here.
Oh,
how many planes do you think you went through before you
I think 4, but you didn't want to see any of them. They weren't pretty.
Yeah, I'd say 4 or 5.
Okay.
Charles, I think you were looking to.
Well, actually, I was going to let Mark speak. He wanted to speak, and he already got in. So
that was it. Yeah.
But Mark, my experience has been I mostly flew by myself early on, and so you're going to go through a lot of more planes that way. I'm teaching a guy right now, and he's been crashing, but they're not so bad that the plane hasn't been fixed and put back in the air. He hasn't totaled the plane so bad yet. So I think having someone coaching you or helping you helps.
Absolutely,
I know a very good pilot, and you might recognize his name, Bill Biles.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever crashed, and he's an expert pilot now.
That's great.
He was taught
Bill never crashed?
He was taught by Ed Southwick. That's what he told me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
So Ed Southwick.
He built some beautiful airplanes. I know that. He showed up at VSC the last year that I was there, that Ed was there, before he had his accident. And Ed had the Skylark, and Bill had the Lark, and they were painted very similar. Both of them powered by Tiger 46s, and they were both gorgeous.
Yeah, that Lark is still gorgeous. Last time I saw it, it was 25 years old, and I could not believe it.
Yeah,
the red one,
pretty airplane. Red, white, and blue.
Yeah,
I've seen that plane flying in person.
Yeah, it's a beautiful airplane.
Was was the same place where you had your video made with a Nobler?
Right. We didn't arrow. Yep.
We were arrows. Yep.
That's where I saw his Lark. That was a couple years ago at the Bob Palmer, I think. Either the Bob Palmer or the other one is called the
Mackey.
The Joust.
Actually, if you want to go put it along those lines, I think it's easier for me to count how many airplanes I flew that I hadn't crashed, and I think that's
yeah, the number is pretty small. Same for me.
Exactly.
1.
Wow. Hey.
Yeah, Ed Southwick, that was a true gentleman. We have someone out here that when you show up at a classic contest likes to say, that plane's not legal. It's not legal for this reason. And this is too small, and it's this. That plane's not legal. Well, I'd built a Skylark and took it to a contest, and he was one of the judges and came out and just picked my plane apart and said, it's not legal. You can't fly that.
Wow.
I went to my car, and I came back with a set of plans, and I laid them out on the table there for everybody to see. And I asked a couple of the guys to hold down the corners, and I laid a ruler down there, and I said, my plane was sitting on the other end of the table. I said, I defy you to find anything on that plane that don't match that plan. And before you go getting all frisky about this, I want you to look at the signature down in the corner. Because when I went to VSC last year, I told Ed that I loved his airplane, but I was so tired of building them because I built 2 and been told both of them were illegal. He said, well, you build by these plans, and if somebody says they're illegal, you have them call me. He put his signature on it. He put his phone number under it. So it was the first one I had built that I had at East Coast Golden Oldies. And he looked over at the plans and he'd start checking the plane. He said, I never would have believed it. I don't care what you believe, Randy. That thing's legal. Yeah. And I went and flew it.
Said he wasn't going to say the name.
This guy's getting crazy.
Well, anyway, I slipped up a little bit there. But anyway, by golly, I just, enough's enough. Enough's enough.
Yeah,
They just kept on about that stuff and beating a dead horse. I mean, they're going out there and flying old timers with foam wings.
Oh.
And you're going to pick on me about you think
ridiculous.
it's an eighth of an inch off in tail moment.
Oh, give me a break.
That's what I said. But I
Yeah,
said
that's
that one
ridiculous.
is exact. Because that's the first one I had that had controls that you screwed together so I could put the tail just where it was supposed to be. I knew it was right. But Tiger 46 and all. And it was one of his 46s to beat that. But anyway, I had a good time with it.
Let me catch up on the chat box. Greg Biswick says, planes used learning to pattern, destroyed 3, repairs ongoing.
That's true.
Only
That's
destroyed
good.
3. I think that's pretty impressive. Learning the pattern with 3. I remember when I finally got to trying to learn the intermediate pattern. I started destroying some planes, picking up the vertical 8. The vertical 8 was my
Principle.
was a problem for me.
What was everybody's Achilles heel? He said his was vertical 8, mine was the hourglass. I destroyed a bunch of airplanes on the hourglass.
I don't want to like brag.
I found I started breaking airplanes trying to get better at the pattern, not learning the pattern. Learning the pattern wasn't too bad. But then when I started trying to make the bottoms lower and everything, oh boy, look out. Then I started going through some serious airplanes.
I know what you mean.
That's your problem, Len.
Principle.
That
I
is
didn't
a
break
problem.
any. I didn't
Not-
break
Yeah,
any
you betcha.
learning.
But you know what? I will say one thing. I was about, 17, 18 at the time. I was fearless. So that was a good thing. I learned to fly bottoms low. And you know what? A lot of guys, when they take up this hobby later in life, they're scared of the ground always. And they'll always be scared of the ground. The only way to get over that fear is to get an airplane that you don't care about and go out there and fly it low. Fly that wing over and pull it out at 4 feet. You got nothing to lose now. You got an old beater. Do it. Otherwise, you're going to be pulling out at 10 feet forever.
Right.
One of the last times that I went out flying, I pulled inverted with the revolutions at 1 foot in an outside square.
I remember that.
Little grass stains on the rudder.
No, but there was a lot of guys over on the corner. You heard one collective from everybody's slamming shut at one time. He scared the crap out of us.
Or what, Mike?
You talking about at Huntersville, right?
Yeah.
Mike, was you say something?
I was going to say, if you fly combat for 8 or 10 years, and then go for a stunt, you don't wreck any airplanes learning the pattern.
Yeah.
I didn't wreck any learning the pattern. I've wrecked them having engines quit at the wrong time, and I wrecked one by having the handle upside down one time. But I've never crashed one flying the pattern or in a maneuver or pull out, you know.
Yeah.
It's like me. I used to crash just on principle, you know. It's like, you know.
I can't say any of that. We've got a guy locally says he's never crashed, but he has sure proved that gravity sucks.
Well, I mean, I've flown control line all my life since I was a kid, but you got to understand, I didn't start flying a pattern until I was like 43 years old, 10 years ago. Maybe just 9. I'd have to look at the first Huntersville contest I went to was probably not 2012 or 2013 was the first stunt contest I ever went to. So like
2009 is when I started flying with you guys out there in Millersville, and I think it was 10 or 11 when we went up to Paducah. I'm not sure if you flew in Paducah or not.
Yeah.
'Cause I knew Walt and Steve and them flew in it, but I didn't know if you flew in it or not.
But yeah, I'd flown forever and flew combat and combat planes, but not the stunt pattern. But learning the pattern wasn't that daunting after flying control line for 40 years, 30 years. But I could see if you were brand new to control line and you were like gonna learn the pattern, you're gonna ball a bunch of stuff up for sure.
Yeah, I'm starting at six months experience and 60 years old. So 6.
Yeah, you're gonna crash probably half a dozen airplanes.
I'll tell you what worked for me. Of course, I was a teenager and had no fear and great reflexes, but I started learning the pattern flying a half A, the old scientific all-American boy. Actually flies pretty good. And I learned every part of the pattern on that half A, and if it hit the ground, it usually just bounced. You know, so when I quit, when I went in the Navy, I still had my first big plane. It was a Sterling Mustang. I built what was the Sterling biplane, flying full, I didn't like it, so I gave that away. I built a Super Ringmaster, and I didn't care for that much, so I gave that away. And then I built that Nobler, and I gave that to one of the young club members when I went in the Navy. So I guess I could say I did crash my flight streak, but it just broke the leading edge, and so I was able to put that back together and things right. The flight streak's what really got me into the pattern, or doing the pattern much better before I got that Nobler up. So
I think if you're learning how to fly the pattern or try to get better at it, it's just if you best advice I can have for anybody, just try to visualize the maneuvers and like a choo-choo train tracks, right? And just put the plane on the tracks, okay? So that's, keep it as simple as that, and you can move the tracks wherever you want to. So if you're learning, you move it up, and as if you're used to put them straight on exactly in a spot that you want to have it, then you can move it anywhere.
That's
you can
cool.
move it down, move it anywhere. But the idea is that it's what I like that Mike does and Sam does the same thing. No, Sam does it. Sam flies on the right side, right? So if you fly your level laps on the right side, you can stop, visualize your maneuver as the plane comes here, right, into your field of view, and just put it on that imaginary circle, square, whatever it is. And you can move it up, and as you get more and more comfortable with it, then you can put it exactly where you want to put it. Then the circle can move anywhere.
That's called writing in the sky, or using your plane to write the pattern. You're absolutely right. You visualize it, and then you fly along those lines that you visualize.
Yeah.
Now,
So
when you get to some squares, it gets to be a little more hectic with the squares.
But still, you just make them higher. Just move it up.
It's still the same principle.
Same principle. Just move it up, until you get comfortable. And once you get comfortable, you just can gradually put it into position. But if you're forcing things together just to hit bottoms, you're gonna hit the ground. I mean, you're gonna go through planes left and right.
I found training for me. It may not be for anybody else, but for me, if I start off at the proper, altitude, level flight, come into my squares, if I count cadence, 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't even have to look at the airplane anymore. Because if I keep the cadence right, it comes out right where the same altitude it went in.
And that might not be actually correct if the plane is at constant speed, simply because if you have vertical lines and you go at 45 degrees, you're going to find out that the 45 degrees is 70% of the bottom. So your cadence is going to throw you out.
But it works. It works for me.
I did that. I did it myself, and I found out that people that do that, you can see, especially in square 8s, the intersection is going to dance left right. You start here after the first loop. First loop as you come in is going to move here, and then you do the outsides and going to move back to where you start, and you're going to go back and forth and back and forth, simply because you have that 70% on the top. So when you come on when you do 70%, you go further back than you need to, and you come back over. Just instead of being here, you're going to be about 30% into the loop here this way, and now you're going to go over there. You're going to follow it here, and then here, and then here. It's just going to be.
I'm not sure that's what's actually happening, Trey.
Sure. Do the math. Do the math.
No, I don't have to do the math. If I'm going 50 feet at 4 feet, go up, and if I go 50 feet here, actually all I've done is raise that horizontal line up to here at a 45-degree slant. So the distance should be roughly the same.
Okay. No, but it's a misconception, right? Because you have 45 degrees spread on the bottom, right?
Yeah.
And if you go straight up, eventually you come to a single point.
That's true.
True. So at 45 degrees, no way is going to be at the same width. It's actually 70% of the bottom. If per
I see where you-
per
I see
the
where you-
rules of the maneuver,
I
because the
see
maneuver
where you're
says
going with it. Yeah.
because the maneuver is done with vertical climbs and dives, right? But we
Right.
are flying on a semicircle, on a
Correct.
sphere. And at 45 degrees, actually the ring at 45 degrees, about 70% of the ring at level flight.
But you can,
70.7%.
you can as a pilot kind of skew it though if you want, right?
Well, a lot of times if you look at the downward and upward legs on a square maneuver, from the judge's point, it actually looks like they're splayed out, I believe, or they're splayed in. One of the two. I'd have to think about it for a minute, but it actually looks that way. But it's not, because from the pilot's position, those lines are vertical.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, in there. But you see, judges are sitting here and they're seeing us. They're sitting right say a straight line behind you, so straight in front of you, they see it straight up. But over here, they're looking at it. It looks like it's splayed in. Yeah, it looks like it's in. But when the pilot's there, those are straight up. Same thing because you're on the hemisphere.
Oh, go ahead.
Same thing because you're on the hemisphere.
Guys,
Exactly.
I'm going to call it an early
So-
night. I got a few things to do. I just wanted to get on and find out about those plans. So
All right,
I'll see you on Friday.
Good night, Eddie.
Eddie, don't forget
Have a
about
great week, buddy.
talking to Craig.
Good night, Eddie.
When you get a chance.
I've already sent him a message.
Okay. And hi, Carl. Carl, thanks for coming in. And I think we have another Peter. I don't know what Peter's last name is, but Peter, your video's not showing and your microphone is off. Okay, now your microphone's on.
Yeah, interesting. We were discussing about crashing airplanes, and my computer just decided I'm going to crash too.
All right. I thought we had a new Peter.
I don't know how I close that one. I don't know how I close that other one out.
I think it'll go away eventually.
Okay.
He said that when he destroyed those 3 planes, that was the novice pattern. So it's not. So, Craig, can you do the full pattern now, or are you still working on that? Let me know in the chat box.
All right. So what else I want to say about the when I try to fly like that, like you said, John, I am to me that's kind of like flying reflex instinctive more than anything, especially when you do like an outside square, because you cannot see the ground and the ground comes at you so fast, then it's by the time you focus on the ground, it's like it's hard. Anyways, it's kind of so I'm still working on that. I still have a couple of bugs in my pattern that I want to nail them for the near future. I'm going to practice on them pretty good, especially this visualizing.
Can I chime in on the cadence thing real quick?
Go ahead.
I don't know like how much cadence you want to use on every maneuver, but Joe Gilbert gave us a tip last fall at a few contests we were at least in the squares. Sam and I were both doing our squares too small. And Joe said, when you do that, when you turn a leg, say fly, fly, turn, fly, 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 fly. Just to yourself in a calm, fly, fly should be each leg of the square. Because we were too small. Not fly, fly, but just fly, fly, turn, fly, fly, turn for the inside and the outside square. And even for the square 8, he said that was a good cadence for that. Just say to yourself in your head, fly, fly. Not counting or any drum beat for any other maneuver or anything else, just for the squares. And that seemed to help us a little bit anyway. But what the hell does Joe Gilbert know, man?
Right.
Yeah, really.
He's only been on the world team, yeah. Exactly.
He only flies a ringmaster expert, you know. I mean,
yeah, I'm not going to listen to that guy, man.
Right? Wins with a ringmaster and expert.
Yeah, we got to get Joe Gilbert in here.
I've been trying. I talk to him about every week. I talk to him on the phone, and I've been trying, man. He's been busy.
Okay.
No, Tryon's over there.
Yeah, he tried it up, all right.
Yeah, not that Tryon.
You know, one thing I wanted to say about the cadences. Now, I played the clarinet for most of my life, and there's some other musicians that I know that seem to have an internal uh, way of, because of the methadone we played with, we can do that pretty easily or instinctively have a nice cadence. And, another guy I used to fly with, he used to play the trumpet, and he also was a good pilot. And there's another musician,
Bill Werwich.
Bill Werwich, yeah. Or how about Bob Hunt, another musician?
Yeah, him too, yeah.
Yeah, so musicians have a cadence kind of internally. Maybe
Yeah.
someone who does not play an instrument, maybe they can, maybe they can't, but being a musician, I think, helps.
I've always counted it off in my head, but you do have to, if you think about it, it's not the same cadence on every maneuver because, like you say, a square 8 that's a great big thing that covers. Well, it's 90 degrees of the circle. I mean, it's quite a bit. 45. And it's 245s.
Yeah, 245.
Which is 90.
Right.
So you're counting that thing off, and the cadence that you use on an 8 does not work on a vertical 8. It doesn't work on anything else. I can't get it to work on it, but I've always Tom told me to count it off, and he says just count it 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and just find a cadence to say that works for you, and that's what I had to do. But it is different at different points, and it's different in the wind.
Doesn't work in the wind either.
So it's just whatever works for you. Find something that works for you that's repeatable. That's the big thing. Is it repeatable? And then, like at Hobby Park when I fly, 45 degrees is the top of that oak tree. But when I go to Huntersville, the trees are at 50 degrees. Tops of the trees are 50 degrees maybe. So it doesn't work down there. So we worked out the cadence thing. But Tran's right. If you can picture the maneuver and do that, you're way ahead in the game. But if you learn to fly on that, we're talking about that learning to fly and everybody flying high and then trying to bring it down. Let me tell you, it's just as bad if you're used to flying 3 feet and you try to bring it up to 4. It's just as hard.
Hey, you guys, we're getting close to having some problems with the internet or the delay, so just be patient with each other. I know that when you were talking, Phil, it was
I heard it back in my ears.
Yeah, so
I'm trying to make sure I got everything turned down.
We're at 14 right now, and let's see if we can maintain that. So just be patient with each other. And I want to say that we have had, I think we've had 23 people viewing us, and we only have 16 likes. And Mike Lonke probably gave me a like before he came in.
I did.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't want to, I did.
I know. He gave me a like even though he knows me. So,
Yes.
So for those of you who don't know me, please give me a like out there. And don't forget to consider subscribing. And also our YouTube memberships. Just $4.99. And that really helps the channel. And so please consider doing that.
Hey, Charles.
Hey, Carl.
Hey, I gave you a thumbs up. Did it go through?
Oh, I don't know who gives me thumbs up or who doesn't.
Oh, okay.
I just know the number, but thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Hey,
I just wonder if I did it right.
Tryon, check your phone
Thank you. Thank you, Phil.
later.
Thank you, Mark.
Just, I sent you a text earlier. Send me a text back later when you get a chance.
And, one thing which I think our audience, and maybe we don't realize, is that our average view time is only like 14 minutes.
Yeah, so we're bored.
I know there are people out there that stay on the whole time, but there's a lot of people that come on and get off. And so our average watch time is only 14 minutes and 22 seconds. So, if you come on in, please give us a thumbs up before you leave. That'll help the channel grow, and it's greatly appreciated. And Tryon, I wanted to say something. I said it earlier. I really like the tape of the inch line demo you did last week. You and Bob. I actually am just floored by it. I think it's simplistic and phenomenal.
Oh, okay, you're welcome. Yeah, I didn't hear you very clearly, but I think you said you liked the idea with the tape.
Yes.
Okay, cool. You're welcome. It's not from me. It's from the guys that flew gliders before me, and I saw how they did it. So I'm just sharing what I learned from them.
Well, that's
Basically.
where I learned it, from gliders.
Yeah.
Mr. Adamison, sir.
Yes, sir.
That front end you showed a few weeks ago, that electric front end you were going to put on your plane, all in line. What's that going to be called? Did you ever turn it in?
A mess.
Do you recall? You mean the motor? Are you talking about just the motor mount that I showed?
Yeah,
off,
just
or
the motor mount and battery tray. I want to get one and put in my new profile. I'm
Oh,
going to a new profile.
Hang on a second here. Which one I think you should get. Made a few of them. They keep getting a little better. Whatever. This might be the one you're talking about here, right?
Yeah, that's it. You made it on
All right.
while you're on.
Yeah, this is the universal key that wrote at. All right. A side battery engine, full box, designed to front mount the motor, and let's see, the box is about an inch and 3/4 square inside, so it'll handle basically any battery, even a 6S, a small 6S battery. It's 10.5 inches long, so that'll fit the nose on any profile I can think of. And then what you do, though it's made as a universal, the plan is to cut the wing leading edge at the back. Let this box slide over the leading edge of the wing, because what that does is it helps reinforce the whole nose that way. The front of the fuselage and the nose is always a bad spot on a profile. So when you put this in there and brace it to the leading edge of the wing and everything like that, you end up with a really substantial, stiff front end structure.
Okay. I'm going to order that one tomorrow then. But the other one I need to know, I'm going to do a Aries. Which one goes in the Aries? I'm going to do a thin wing plane and see if I can't get a good classic going. Electric, yeah. I've got a Cobra to fly, but I'm working on a Cobra. That's really not supposed to get out. I want to surprise the guys with it, but I want to try to get an Aries going. I've always loved the Aries, and that's a thin wing if there ever was one. Which one of the front ends would go in that?
Oh, there's one called a Universal B. It's designed for a full fuselage airplane, and with a top access battery hatch. It works well.
Mike,
I'm probably gonna do it side access.
Yeah, I like the side access. This is for profiles. You might be able to adapt some of the other side access ones. The ones for the United is pretty. I think would be pretty flexible. You could probably adapt it to. The neat thing about an Aries is that when you lay in the doubler on the fuselage side, all you got to do is allow for that leading edge stick going through it. So there's a lot of things I think you can do with that. So.
Yeah, I was looking at the plane, the plans the other night. A lot of times when I don't feel like building, I sit and look at plans, and I have.
Yep.
I can probably rival Bob Hunt as far as how many plans I have downstairs. I don't know how many there are, but there's 5 or 6 boxes of them. So it's.
I know what you mean. I started doing that a few years ago too. I started basically collecting plans.
Yeah,
and
me too.
Lately, since with John Miller's tutelage and guidance here, I've been learning how to do CAD stuff. I'm trying. It's on one of my wish lists here is to start cataloging, start really documenting all of these airplanes that I grew up with, not just mine, but like that, the Don Bambrick ultrasonic I'm looking at over here, and he had a couple other airplanes. Don was an outstanding builder and flyer from the Detroit area in the 60s. And I have his ultrasonic from 1968, and the Titan was the last airplane he built. He never actually even finished it. Gave it to my dad. My dad was going to finish it. Well, he never finished it either. But the thing is sitting there, been sitting in, it was sitting in my dad's basement since 1976. All right.
I think I remember seeing that one.
You probably have. You probably have.
Yeah.
But they're how important I don't know how important they are. But they're just neat. If I don't do something with them, they're lost forever. That's what it amounts to.
That's right.
Yeah. Well,
And that's,
a lot of the stuff is
I
just,
hate to walk away from them that way. So
yeah, you at least want to see it fly once.
Mhm.
The funniest looking one I ever saw, a guy came to the field with a plane that looked like a 707. You know, the darn thing flew and flew well.
Well, was it the Jack Sheik's airplane?
Jack Sheik's airplane, yeah.
I saw the original Stuntliner fly, and I was blown away at how well it flew. I couldn't believe it. With all the jet pods on it and the swept wing and everything like that. Yeah. I think it would be fun now to build it with some of the electric ducted band units and stuff like that. And
oh my word! Oh, yeah, that would be.
It'd be easy. But those pods, instead of just creating drag, you could actually get a little bit of thrust out of them. How much? Yeah. I don't know, but it would make it behave like a low drag airplane.
Yeah.
Charles has got his finger up, and then when he's done, I'd like to interject a question in here.
Thank you, John. Brent Williams says delay. So I don't know when it started, Brent. What we could try is if everybody could go to their settings and make sure they have manage their video quality. And Lord, mine's on standard definition. If yours is on the high, that might help. And then Brent, if you'll let us know if it's improved, and I appreciate you letting us know we're delaying. So Carl, if you look at your screen, Carl, the right corner, you'll find 3 small dots. Then you left click on that, and a menu will pop up. Let me know when you see the menu.
All right.
I got mine in low bandwidth mode.
Well,
yeah.
I'm on a laptop, Charles. So
yeah, so am I.
Okay,
just go to the right. You'll see.
Oh yeah, the 3 dots. Yeah.
Left click on that.
Click on that.
Click on that, and the menu should pop up. Do you see that menu?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, the top one says Manage Video Quality.
Yeah. Okay, click on that one.
Click on that one, and then you'll see a slider bar. Your dot will probably be on high definition. Move it to the left to standard definition.
Well, it disappeared.
You go back a step and try it again.
Okay.
See, now the dots disappeared. I don't know what. Oh, okay, here they are. Let's see here.
Yeah, and I put it on low.
Mine's on high. Okay, I don't know why it.
That's okay. It kind of defaults to high. That's okay. Just move it to the left to standard definition, and we'll try that.
Yeah, when I moved all the way to the left, I lost everybody's pictures.
Yeah, I think just go to standard for now. I think if we all go to standard.
I'm on the low quality, but it's one step higher than the minimum bandwidth. Minimum bandwidth wipes out the pictures.
That's where I am.
Okay, Charles, I went to standard.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it even looks better. I think we have a better connection now. So Brent, let me know if Brent Williams, I'm talking to you. Please let us know if it's better now.
Oh, y'all look out! Steve's in the house.
I've been here.
Yeah, but I couldn't razz you then. There were people talking serious.
I got a question, guys.
Okay, go for it.
Anybody know how to get hold of Shirley Sheets? Her Facebook account's been hacked, and I got some traffic from her account, and somebody was hacking with it. It wasn't. I know it wasn't Shirley, but I don't have her phone number, and I think that's the only way we'll be able to get in touch with her.
Well, John, all you need to do is just post a message and say, Shirley Sheeks, your Facebook account has been hacked, and make sure she's tagged in it. It'll come up blue when you make the post. Her name should come up blue when you make the post, and she'll see it.
Okay, I've never done a tag or anything like that, so.
Well, you don't have to tag. Just type, if she's on, you're friends with her,
Yeah.
type in Shirley Sheeks, and her name will come up blue, and put a space and say, you've been hacked, check your account. And she'll get it. When you type someone's name in that is a friend of yours, they're automatically notified that you used their name. That's the best way. So if she's monitoring her account, she'll get a message that says John Miller tagged you.
That's what I wondered if she
you just use her name. It'll come up.
I wondered if she's monitoring her account, so okay.
There's been a lot of that mess going on lately.
Yeah.
My wife's account got hacked, and we tried for almost 4 months to get it straightened out through Facebook, and they are no help at all. They won't help at all. She ended up having to start a new account.
It's not that big a deal. It happens all the time, man.
Yeah. It's aggravating.
Well,
Guys, I have a question for you.
How things are going in Texas now, I knew.
Just be careful when you're trying to get something resolved on Facebook. If you end up with on a site that say, "Oh, we'll fix it," but we'll charge you this amount of money, that's a scam. Don't know that there's no.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of scams on Facebook. There's a girl on there wanting to
my
sell
wife got caught up in it.
There was a girl on there wanting to sell a camper for $800. I said, "Wait a minute, that's $24,000 camper. $800? No."
And they probably ask you to pay in Bitcoin and some kind of
through eBay's cards.
Through PayPal or something like that.
Gift cards through eBay. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Listen, man, if you can't ever meet someone in person for a transaction, you just don't do it.
Yep, this is true.
That's all there is to it, man. If you can't meet them and they're not in your town, you don't do it. That's how you avoid getting off.
I tell you one thing though, when this pandemic mess is over, when all this crap is over, there's going to be a lot of nice campers for sale. I'm going to go find me a small camper and start hauling it to contests, because there's going to be a bunch of them for sale. Because man, the camper lots around here, we got a camper lot 3.5 miles away, one 5 miles away, one 7 miles away. They're all always full. I mean, full. There's 2 campers on that lot. There was 1 on that lot, and there was 0 on that lot the other day. But he's up near the highway. Everybody sees him. They're all just staying sold out. As soon as they get a load in, they sell them.
Well, that's because that's what families are doing now.
There's going to be a bunch of campers for sale in a year or two when this mess is all over.
What people are doing.
Yeah.
Camping with I just booked a week myself this summer at the lake that we go to, and I'm renting a camper for 10 days, just can't go anywhere else.
I got to get up when you find out how to do that, because I'd love to do that on a couple of lakes locally. I pull my boat up there and rent a camper. That would be the easy way to get the family out for the weekend. I could do some fishing. I just went by today and saw a boat. I got to go look at a try haul. I need another boat. We're just
camping on the lake that we go on every weekend with our boat.
You can only drive one at a time.
Slot in the campground, and we'll be there for 10 days and can park the boat on the beach at the campground. Staycation, man.
Yeah.
The only thing we got planned is contests. Sam and I hope to get to go to a bunch of control line contests, but the family's not really going anywhere else. We're going to fly.
I'm not sure what's going to happen. No, we've got. That's one thing we're blessed with right here. We got High Rock, Tuckertown, Baden. I forgot the one below it. I hadn't been there in several years. Then we got Blues Creek. Then we got Oh, there's 9 lakes within an hour of here that are tournament level lakes. The BASS has been on 2 of them. FLW's been on 1 of them. And the new tournament trail, I've forgotten what it's called, is scheduled to be on 3 of them. So we should have a good summer coming up.
I sense Charles biplane coming here shortly.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, still Charles biplane. Charles, where are you slipping, brother? Where is the biplane?
It's right here to my right.
Okay.
He only
We don't
does
need
that
to see
to
it. We
certain people.
No, I was just distracted.
Nah.
My cell phone was buzzing me, so.
Okay.
Who it was.
Hey,
oh, you guys, I wanted to say something that since we made the adjustment, Brent Williams said, looks better, seems to be tracking better. But I want to implore you guys to be patient and just kind of just wait before you respond to somebody, so you're not stepping on each other's words. Just be a little bit patient.
Hey, Phil, I was talking about the electric, like the pod.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I put a link in the message board over there. I think the guy's name, and Dennis, you may know him. His name was Mark Wood.
Mark Wood.
He came up with this. It's a pod, and it has like cheek cowls. I'm not sure the size of, but anyway, put the link there. You can look at it and see.
Okay.
It was just it's an interesting looking thing because it was kind of a pre-made laser cut type thing. I guess you could plug in a profile pretty easy. Yeah.
Well, that'd be neat. Yeah, I came up. I was going to do a. Now I can't think of the name of it. Cardinal. I was going to do a Cardinal, and I just don't like the looks of a Cardinal. I'm sorry. Everybody loves the Cardinal, and I know they fly great. I have yet to see a Cardinal that didn't fly very well, unless it was just warped all to creation. But I just think I'm a curve guy. I don't like angles. I just don't care for all those points and angles. And then the canopy is just wrong. I mean, it just doesn't look right.
It's supposed to look like a bird, man, like a bird beak.
But my biggest problem with the Cardinal is I just do not like the I'll call them backward swept wingtips. They don't look right. I'm planning on. I started a Cardinal a long time ago, and I haven't been working on it. But mine is going to be a Lanadrac. That's Cardinal spelled backwards. All right. I'm going to reverse the wingtips. I'm going to reverse the stab tips. I'm going to reverse the fin, and I mean, I'm going to, and I don't know. It's just going to get rid of all of those, stick in the eye shapes that I just don't like.
And that's when these designs, except for the Strega, his his Testarossa was not along the same lines as well.
Yeah. I just took curved everything, but I'm calling mine the Mariah.
Yeah.
I drew the plans for Rodak's Cardinal.
Oh yeah, I know. I remember that.
I also drew the plans for the Pathfinder, and between flying the two, I will tell you, just the fact that I'm friends with Gordon Delaney and that's the design. But the Pathfinder, in my opinion, at least the examples, the Pathfinder will fly the pants off the Cardinal. Just saying.
I'm not going to argue that. I'm not even going to argue that. I think the 3 finest profiles I've ever flown, and keep in mind I've designed a few myself. The 3 finest ones I've ever flown were the Cardinal. It did fly great. The Pathfinder is amazing, and the Cardinal with a swept back wing is really nice. And then that crazy thing that Mike's got.
Teosaki?
No, Teosaki is one of the Teosaki is one of the best I've ever flown, but no, I'm trying to razz Mike. The Mo Best really is a great flying airplane, but most of these that really fly well have in common, the Teosaki, the Mo Best, and several of them are in line. And if you read all these articles, everybody says, oh, inline's terrible because it blanks out the tail and all this stuff at low speeds. We fly 55 miles an hour. I mean, the inline planes fly great. If you're worried about it, do like Train did. Tilt the back end up a little bit or tilt it down a little bit like the All-American Eagle. But I have not found it to be a problem yet. TO is right in line, and that was the best flying airplane I had flown. And then I later flew the other three profiles, and those 4 planes are some of the best out there. But I was talking kits. TO's not a kit.
Well, the reason, as I see it, the reason why inlines have not been the number one choice throughout the ages here is that it has to do with the geometry of the controls. When you've got an inline and you come off your flaps, if your flaps are on the top of the wing, you've got a huge angle going down to get the horn so that the elevators turn opposite of the flaps.
Mm-hmm.
And so you wind up with a huge geometric problem that if you don't address it, fix it, you don't get equal turns. And so if you don't get equal turns, it affects the quality of the flight. So if people are doing something, there are several ways to address the program. One of the simplest ways is to bend the push rod so that the push rod now is going straight to the elevator horn. So what that means, you're coming up here making a huge bend, and you do that, you're gonna have to brace it some, because it's gonna want to. But if you don't address it, you will have big inconsistencies in the turn ratio. Go ahead, Charles.
I'm going to have to ask for maybe a volunteer or two to drop out. Our audio is deteriorated, and I don't know if
I can hear everyone just fine.
Yeah, it's I'm hearing an echo, and I'm hearing it's just not sounding good. We've been having a little bit of problem with the well, you know what? On the chat box, can you guys tell me how it's sounding on your end? I'm hearing it doesn't sound good on my end, so let me know.
I'll tell you what, let's try this. When we're not talking, turn your mic off. Then when you talk, turn your mic on. Let's just see if that fixes it.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea.
Sure way to keep us from talking over the top of each other, isn't it?
True. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Hi. Can I talk about control geometry?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
It's a three-dimensional issue, and you don't have to bend the push rod. If you like, I can give you a program to linearize it. It's an Excel spreadsheet with macros in it, and that's what a lot of folks are using to linearize the program. So, yeah, give me a PM or an email or something, and I'll send you the program.
Go for it. I'd love to see it.
Is that you, Howard?
It is, yes. I should have said who I am.
Yeah. Well, I just made mention that was one way of doing it. The other way is like you're absolutely right. A three-dimensional problem. The tilt of the horns is the solution that I use. I don't know if there's others, but that's the one I've always used. Back over to you.
Very good. You know what? I did get a report from Brent Williams. He said bad audio, lots of echo with John, but since we've been muting our mics, it's better. So Brent, can you please, I appreciate your help. Please let us know if this is working as muting our mics until we need to speak.
Charles, I'm not sure what's happening on YouTube, but everything on my end is loud and crystal clear with everyone who talks. I'm not hearing nothing. I got every one of you guys loud and clear. Mark?
Same here. I just get a tiny bit of echo, but other than that, it's perfect.
Yeah, I don't think we need to be asking people to leave to save the sound quality, because I don't think it's that bad.
Well, it's not when John was speaking, it was bad, and then Brent Williams, his observation is that it was bad also, and he actually said he lots of echo with John. So
Okay.
Keep
I
in
don't
mind,
know.
it could be Brent.
I just want to be inclusive to everyone, and even the people that have crappy internet. You know, we don't want to.
I understand, but no one's going to want to watch a video that's terrible audio, right? It's like a waste of time. We're wasting our time, you know. Now we always can go to the after party. That doesn't matter. The after party doesn't matter about the audio, but it's just for the. Now here comes Jim Smith. So let's see how this works. Welcome, Jim.
Did any of you build a prowler? Because I was looking at the landing gear legs, and it seems like one has a longer torsion bar than the other one. It's almost like they're meant to go like this, kind of like on top of each other in two separate holes, and that way the other gear legs are gonna be normal. I mean, I can go grab them and show you what I have here, or maybe I should just even.
I think you probably had your head turned sideways when you were looking at it.
I've
No,
seen
actually,
one that was
possible.
drawn like that, but I don't.
But
remember
no,
if it was a
yeah,
prowler.
no, that's a thing. That's a thing. I've seen that. I've
Yeah.
seen that on like RC planes, man.
Mhm.
On wire gear on RC planes.
Hey Google.
So
Turn
just the
bender and
quality of the
light
bend or
on.
what? Mike, are you saying it's the quality of the bend or it's something else?
It's the quality of the bend. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, I think I've seen that on profiles where they, instead of trying to run the two wires together on a profile, they'll run them like that, so they can both run all the way across, and the top end of the wire is supported basically on both plywood doublers.
That
That
was
makes-
my
Yeah.
idea and what I thought.
Yeah,
Oh,
if you
they're
take a
actually
look
like
in the
this far apart.
they go all the way across, actually poke through the other side, and then because this one's here, the other one has to be someplace else.
Oh yeah, because they don't meet in the middle.
Right,
I got you. Like a twister meets in the middle.
right.
They
All the
both-
Brodacks meet in the middle. Some of them, usually with a
That-
brass tube in there or something like that. But the other way is probably a little more secure. And then of course the vertical line, the vertical bar, they're in line with each other. So when you put the clamps on either side and stuff, everything's all lined up.
Yeah.
There's of all things, there's a Ringmaster auto gyro build going on in the electric thread on Stunthangar. John Rist, I think, is building it, and that was one of the things that airplane had. I hadn't seen that in a while. Well, not sure when the last time I saw it was, but there's an example of it there.
It
Wanna
makes
see
sense,
it.
Benny.
Yeah.
So okay, so what I've done tonight here, I've loosened up my hinge line for the flaps, and it's fairly loose right now. So I know this is a good starting place, because if I just do like this a little bit with my hands, just move it a little bit like this, it's gonna shake. You can see it shaking. See that?
Absolutely.
And is that your Kevlar full length
Yeah.
hinge?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not full length, but I have 6 sections of 1 inch wide.
Oh, okay.
Throughout
I
the
thought you
wing.
made it full span.
No, I do that on my on the Revolutions, because I do it in a mold and I just put them together. If I was planning to make a plane with a full hinge, I can definitely do that, but I have to plan ahead, and this was a kit that was already made like that, so I just follow the kit for most part, and whatever I have there is more than enough. They do get better in time. So, and that's no question about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Kevlar doesn't like to receive glue on it, even if you put epoxy or CA or anything. It kind of stays on the surface, outer surface of the Kevlar.
Yeah.
And when you move it back and forth like that, the glue eventually shatters, it breaks down, and it leaves the fabric. So all you being left is just basically the Kevlar strands in that area. Whatever is glued inside, it's nice and stable. It doesn't come off, or it doesn't come unglued or anything like that. So
Yeah, I got my Kevlar today, Trayan.
Oh, nice, cool.
So I'll be trying some of those pretty soon.
Yeah. So don't be afraid of it as being too stiff or something like that. Okay. So and leave a little bit of gap over there between the leading edge of your flaps and trailing edge of your wing, about about a 1/16 of an inch or so. If you do a full length Kevlar hinge. So if you do that, it's gonna seal anyways because it's a full length, right? And you need a little bit of a gap over there. And what I've done is, like, I took a hacksaw blade and I just drop it right there on the bottom of the hinge pocket. It's like you have a V. I just drop it right in the center, and I take that 1/16 of an inch because of this width of the hacksaw blade, and I just go back and forth and back and forth, and eventually you see the yellow popping up or something like that. That's your Kevlar color, and that's how you know where to stop. And if you scratch it a little bit, doesn't matter. It's very forgiving, Jim. So that's that. That's what I've done on this ones. I took some sanding paper, like this, and I tilted my hinge like this. I'm not sure if you can see it. You just move the hinge in a position, and then I took it down and used the sanding paper a little bit to scrape off the excessive stuff, and then after that it just moves. Okay. See that? I'm just shaking it a little bit, but it's very free right now. See that? And it's gonna get better in time. Anyways, that's for now what I have right over there. I know it's more than enough to get started, to go fly and not have any issues. So that's that.
Hey, has anybody ever heard of that chroma seal that Bob was talking about? It's an automotive catalyst type thing, and it's like an adhesion promoter. He puts it on just after his primer. He sands all the primer off, and then he puts this stuff on. And I've looked all over the place for chroma seal. My paint store here doesn't have it. I don't know if they don't make it anymore or what the story is. I was hoping Bob would be here. I guess nobody's ever heard of it.
I remember he wrote about it in an article when he was doing the articles in Model Aviation News. I remember he mentioning it in one of his finishes. So I just don't know where to get it. But I'd give Bob a call.
Yeah, I ordered some wings from him, so he'll be emailing me back here pretty soon.
Yeah.
What's happening, Denny?
Mic on? Yeah, now we go. Screen flash. We lost somebody here, so I was just trying to figure out who it was. Steve?
It was Steve.
Yeah, I guess. Okay. He's been awful quiet tonight anyway.
Hey, Phil.
There you go.
Yes, sir. What's happening?
Did you just made here trans showing something, then I'll get back at it. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Every day.
Yeah, it's just enough to miss. Yeah.
Okay.
That's probably what that is.
So,
but the bottom end is the same length.
That's just weird. Oh boy.
Your mic's turned off, Tryon.
My bad. So yeah, the bottom seems to have like a nice fit to it until you get to the top.
Yeah, that's in a weird place to be. What we were thinking.
So what I'm thinking, I think you guys are right, because they're not meant to go like this. They're meant to go like this.
I think that's what it is. Yeah, that comes out right. Yeah.
And that comes out right, yeah. So I think that's it. So I'm just gonna drill a secondary hole in there, and put two of these brass tubes inside, and just go like that.
Yeah, that'll do it. That should do it.
Yeah. Or I get some landing gear, some of those aluminum landing gears for a profile plane or something like that. I don't know.
Or Hobby King carbon fiber gear, which is super cheap.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. But which one do you get?
Well, they got two sizes, Tryon, and I'd have to look at my records to see. So like the 40 to 60 size is small. I put that on a Ringmaster, believe it or not. What they sell for a 40 to 60 size. And then like the 60 to 80 size would be, and they call it for, 60 to 80 size profile airplane. That fits a nice 46 size profile in control line.
Okay.
So on your MOVES, you're going to use the 60-80 size?
I am. Yeah.
Okay.
I got them right here too. Yeah.
Hey guys, I gotta go. I got a dental appointment early in the morning, so I just wanted to come say hi.
We'll see you, Jim. Good luck.
Well, hello and goodbye.
Take care, Jim. Good luck.
Yep.
Take care, Jim.
All right. Bye bye.
I got them right there. That's the 60 to 80 size.
How tall are they?
Well, hang on. I got tissue and dope down here. Just let me get that stuck down real quick before I can set it down.
Well, let me
take your time.
Phil for a moment then while you're doing that.
No, I got it. We're good.
Okay.
From the radius off the fuselage. Where the bend is, the bend straight down is 6 1/4 inches.
What is it from the center to the ground?
So this leg is 6 1/4.
Yeah, but more like from the bottom of it to the ground. That's what.
Bottom to the ground. Well, to the wheels or to the where the axle
ground. To the ground.
All right. Well, I got 2 1/4 inch wheels on this thing right now.
So it's plus 1 inch.
6 inches.
That's
6
good.
inch. Yeah, that would be perfect for what I need.
6 inches.
Yeah. 5 or 6 would be more than enough because the prop I'm going to use on this thing is going to be a 11-inch prop, so it's 5.5.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. They call these the 60 to 80, and they're big, but the 40 to 60. That's what I put on Sam's rugged stunt trainers, like on his 35 stuff. I put them on Sky Rays. They're 40 to 60 ones. I've got a set up there I could dig up and measure.
Yeah, definitely do that.
I think it's more like 5 inches on those versus 6 inches.
It's about what I need, because my prop is gonna be 5.5, and if you have another 1 inch from the wheels, so it's going to be like 6.5, more than enough for ground clearance.
Yeah.
So Phil,
Well, they're great and they're cheap, because the 40 to 60 ones I think are 11 or 12 bucks, maybe 13 bucks, and the other ones they're still only like $17 or something. And I was ordering them 3 at a time just to make the shipping worthwhile, you know.
Yeah.
I got probably six pairs of them up there, because they're in stock and then they're out of stock. They're in stock and they're out. It's Hobby King, so you can't ever figure. So when you order from them, you order 3 or 4 or 5. You know. Say again, John.
Charles tried to get in there and say something.
Oh, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Made some adjustments, so I think everybody is free to go ahead and unmute your mic. I think we'll be okay. I found some settings, and I think we should be okay from here on out.
Okay, well, I had asked Phil a question, and then I turned it over to Tran because of what he was showing. But I wanted to ask you, Phil, how much did you thin that paint down? Did you thin it at all?
No, what I've used is right out of the can, the spray can.
No wonder you got it.
I never did. I have not found the can stuff around here. I've been to Ace Hardware. I've been to everywhere that's listed. I looked it up on the internet, and everybody that said they have it don't have it. I've been to 4 different Walmarts. There's only 3 in Winston. I went to 1 in High Point. I've been to 3 or 4 different Ace Hardwares. Well, it doesn't matter. But I've been several places. I've been to Home Depot, and I've been to Hobby Lobby, of all places, said they had it, and none of them have it.
It's amazing.
I started to order it, and it's like $18 a can. I said, my gosh.
That's ridiculous. It needs to be. I buy it in either the little half pint cans or the pint cans, and you know, it needs to be cut about 50% with water. You know,
well, that's what I was going to do, 50-50 anyway. But I couldn't find it, so I just used a spray can. I said, I want to get this thing finished, and then for I don't know what I'm going to use to seal it, but I was thinking about just clear dope. That's what you said used.
Yeah,
but it's got red and white tips. Kind of pseudo like Thunderbirds, and it was going to have the big bird on the bottom, but I got to thinking about as much weight as I've already gained. I'm not going to put the bird on there because I just don't want to add that much more weight.
Yeah.
But this one, if this one works out, there will be a wood wing version. It'll probably be next year because I've got too much to do this year. But I'm really doing this one and doing it quick, down and dirty, to have something, A, to go out and fly, and B, just to finish something. I want to get my hand back in just getting something done.
Yeah.
And this was one that I really don't, you know, if somebody likes it, they probably could pick this one up cheap. I just want to get it done and get it out of here. But I don't know. I just want to get it done in a hurry, and it looks like it. I mean, it really does. I didn't do a really good job. I didn't do my kind of job on the wingtips with the Econocoat. I didn't do a great job on the paint job. The pilot, I couldn't find the one I wanted, so I took a piece of balsa and I literally just rounded it, and then drew a mask on it, and I put Magoo across it. The name of the plane's Humbug, and I love Jim Backus, so I put Magoo on across the helmet, and it's just a fun little take it out and beat it around airplane. If somebody else wants to fly it, I won't be scared to let somebody else fly it. It's a 25 engine in it. It's just a neat little plane.
Well, of course, Phil, you know what'll happen now is that since you kind of
it'll turn out to be a great airplane.
It's going to be the best flying airplane you ever had. So
you're probably right.
Yeah, I mean that's
and then I'll end up building a wooden one. The thing of it is, I already have the ribs for the woodman. I already drew them up and cut them out and started to build it. They're all, I mean, they'll go right on the rods. It won't take me an hour to put them on the rods and get everything ready to go. But I still have to cut another wingtips. And
Hey guys, I'm gonna crash. I have to go to work tomorrow. Have a good one.
Trey, you take care of yourself. Hopefully by the next time I see you, I will have 2 motors.
Yeah.
My motors are world travelers, baby.
I was going to say they qualified for frequent flyer miles. So.
I mean that. You take care, Trey, and see you Friday.
Yeah, good night.
See you, kid.
Good night.
They're going to be worn out by the time you get them.
Gosh, I'm telling you, I'm sure the box is going to be beat all to pieces.
Yeah.
Or anything marked fragile, like just, hey Harry.
Well,
anyway,
keep looking for the little cans. I'll pick up a can here so I can show you exactly what it looks like.
Tom showed me a can of it. I took a picture of it.
Okay.
But it's blue and white can, and it's a 1-pint can. And if I could find them, I'd get a red one, a white one, a blue one. But I just can't find them.
Well, it comes in red, white, blue, and black. So
that's what I'm after. That's the 4 I'm after. If I can find them, I'd get them. But see what they sell for where you are, and if you can get them, how much it would cost to ship them, and I just might get you to send me 4 cans, and I'll send you a check.
Be happy.
Because I'm telling you, it's ridiculous that everybody shows it online. If you look up Walmart, they say we've got it. You go to the store and they ain't got it, and the guy that's over the paint department says we've never had anything like that. I showed him the picture of the can. He said we've never carried that. Well, online it says you've got it.
Can you buy it online from Walmart?
I tried and didn't get it. They sent me a spray can.
Huh.
I sent that back. I don't want spray cans. I already got spray cans. But you shoot that stuff out of a spray can, I mean, brother, that stuff comes out thick. You better have that can moving when you push that button, because it comes out thick and it comes out right now.
See, I did a blocking coat of gray dope.
Well, I did too.
And then I did 2 light coats of yellow, and there's enough pigment even at 50/50 that yellow covered.
Yeah.
And yellow's a tough one to get to cover with. So
yeah, I've always put yellow over white, but I didn't. I haven't used yellow in a while, but my last one I used extra pigment in the yellow and it worked just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll check it out and see if I can get you some and find out what it costs.
Because I've got another plane I want to do, and if this one works, this one might get sanded down and redone. I'm not kidding you, because I'm really not proud of the paint job I put on. I hate for Tommy to see this thing, because I'm going to catch HE double hockey sticks with this one.
Okay, well, I just had that question about whether you'd thinned it. I didn't know you'd used the spray can.
Yeah.
This is the other side of the paint question. I've actually been looking at trying to strip down a couple of old airplanes right online.
Easy spray, yeah.
Randy Ryan did a great job. Randy Paul did a great job, and they talked about getting Dad's Easy Spray strip. Okay.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, well, I never heard of it. Was hard to find. Randy said he got his at Walmart. Well, they didn't have it here. I looked all over the place. I finally found some. Then I did a little more digging on it. The company that makes it, they're in Fort Wayne, Indiana. 4 miles from where I live.
Wow.
And I couldn't find this stuff anywhere. So, yeah, they're on Clinton Street downtown. So.
Wow,
hey, I tell you, Danny, I've told this story before, but I've got a good friend who doesn't travel much, doesn't get around very much, but he went to Texas to a family get together. Nobody died or anything, just a family get together. And he went down there and he thought of me and he brought me home. He says, every time we go to the restaurants, you put hot sauce on your food, on different things, you know. He brought me back a case of Texas Pete. I didn't have the heart to tell him.
That's my favorite, Phil.
It's made right across town. It's made right here in Winston-Salem.
It is.
I knew T.G. Garner 30 years ago when I worked at, he's gone now, but 30 years ago when I worked at Express Corporation. Ted's son-in-law was one of the salesmen that I worked with. And Lord have mercy, he had a beautiful daughter, I'm telling you. But anyway, I worked with Ted's son-in-law and met Ted on a regular basis. He was a great guy. He'd bring us cases of the stuff, but I'd run out. I used to send it to my brother in Albuquerque, and he called me one day and says, "We got Texas Pete in the grocery stores." I good. I don't have to ship it to you anymore. But Ronnie did. He sent me a case of Texas Pete. And I didn't have the heart to tell him it's made right across town. I've been eating this, drinking this, putting this stuff on my food since I was a little fella. But I mean, I was just tickled I had a friend that thought of me when he's out of town like that. He's scared to death to travel. If he's not in familiar surroundings, he is a nervous individual. Lordy. Michael, that plane is making me jealous.
This one?
That looks neat. I'm liable to get into some of that rubber. Mine is not a Peck Palmer's kit. Mine's a Jetco, and it's not a one night 28. I thought it was. I've got plans to the one night 28. It's a. I'll bring it up and show it to you next Friday. I can't remember, but I'm gonna have to look into building that thing.
Jetco, that might have been
Hey, Mike, what was the clear you
Zach,
were talking about?
Frank Zach.
Use it on your tissue.
Frank Zach designed the airplane. I forgot the name of it, but
Somebody asked you.
do what?
Bird of Time.
Oh no, that was that. I've met him. He's in Albuquerque. He still lives in Albuquerque. That is Bird of Time was
Dave Thornburg.
Dave Thornburg, yeah. Dave is a carpenter by trade, a cabinet maker, and a darn good one.
He's a terrific columnist on sailplanes. He's
a terrific guy,
I always
too.
enjoyed reading what he had to say.
He's a terrific guy too. I was out in Albuquerque for the balloon festival, and there's Steve back, and I met him, and I met him at the hobby shop, and he said, "If you're ever back out this way, get in touch with me. If I'm in town, we'll go flying." Well, I got back out that way, but I didn't have a sailplane with me. So I said, "Well, when are y'all going flying? I'll go out and watch y'all at least." Well, he called some of his buddies, and I had told him I'd always wanted to fly a Sagita, but it came out after I quit flying. I have one of the prototype kits that I built, but I never got a chance to fly the darn thing. So I put it in the box, and I took it with me out there, and the radio hadn't been used in so many years. I charged the batteries, but the radio was acting funny. Well, next thing I know, my receiver and my transmitter are gone with this guy, and they're gone that away. And my airplane's over here in the back of the truck, and everybody's admiring it. But he says, "You built too darn neat." I said, "Well, I fly control line stunt. I mean, I can't help myself." So then we get ready to go flying. I'm walking over and sit down. He said, "Well, don't just sit there. Go get the plane." He had another one of his birds over there for me to fly. We flew all day. We had a ball. Then the guy comes back, and he's just rebuilt my transmitter, rebuilt the receiver. Everything's been redone, and this cat hadn't been flying. I'm flying his airplane while he's going fixing my transmitter and receiver.
Wow.
But David told him it was all right. It's a bird of time. Heck, if something happens, we'll build you another one. Anyway, long story short, by the end of the day, we were flying and having a ball. Dave is a fine fella, and his buddies out there, there's 2 or 3 of them that are really nice people.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get ready to leave. Let's go get something to eat. We went to the restaurant. I said, "Guys, I got to go meet my wife. I mean, she's been stuck with my brother all day, and you don't know, but that's oil and water." Well, call her. Tell her to meet us at the restaurant. We went to the restaurant, and that you can't pay for nothing. Those guys are crazy. Now, you come all this way to come fly with us, you ain't paying for nothing. We had a great time. I've already told y'all about it. If you ever go to Albuquerque at the Balloon Festival, don't get a rental car. It's got a Texas tag on it.
Yeah.
Ooh, don't do that. That was it. That was learning experience. But I tell you what, I want to get out there to Indy and see what's going on. That's y'all got a lot of stuff happening. Every time I look in the book, there's 2 contests in North Carolina for a given month, and Indiana's got 12. I'm sitting there. My God, modeling must be busy out there. Must be a happening place. California's got more, Florida's got more, but y'all are about third in having a bunch of stuff.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what the summer's going to bring. The vaccines and everything like that. I'm hoping we get back to normal, whatever the heck that means.
Yeah,
I'm not sure
say,
what
what's
normal
normal
means anymore.
I'm not sure either.
I was so sorry to see. We've already lost VSC and Joe Nall this year, and Joe Nall is one that I'd really like to make. It's early in the year. It's like I'd have to come out and I'd be test flying, down there. But I usually don't. We usually can't get flying that early. But it's just one of those places that I like to go to. And
you'd love it if you get there.
And
they will treat you
the
like.
NACS is going to be real early this year. It's going to really throw things into out of whack.
I mean,
but I'm hoping for late summer, maybe making some meets that I've missed in the past. I mean, like Dayton and Cincinnati and places like that I just haven't been going to. Cleveland.
I'd like trying to make some
Milwaukee.
Yeah,
Milwaukee runs a really nice meet.
Do what?
The Nats are going to be fine.
Well, the Nats will be fine, but my plane will never be done in time. I finally figured out what happened and fixed it, or I'm in the process of fixing it. But I had an airplane, the Ombre's fuselage was beautiful the night before, and the next morning I got up and it looked like a pretzel. I said, what the heck? So I finally I got angry and I said, I'm either going to just bust this fuselage up and start all over, or I'm going to do something drastic. Well, I was looking at this little knife, and I said, that rascal's right sharp. So I took a 6-inch ruler and I laid it up beside that fuselage on it and got rid of that side. And I went on the other side and said, which is the other direction. And I got me out 2 new pieces of 1/8-inch balsa. This time I had some pieces 32 inches long that were just a little bit too short, but I just scabbed 1/16 on behind it because it was behind the elevators, and that's just back there for looks anyway. But I made I've seen everybody take these wings and just put the fuselage together in the middle on, slide the nose on, slide the tail on. In fact, I did it on the Humbug. So on this thing, I just cut it right there on top and bottom and said, I'm gonna souse a new tail end on this thing and see if I can't make an airplane. So that's what we've done. And so far, it looks straight. But I learned from doing the Cobra. Anytime you cut this side a little. I don't know what that has to do with it twisting this way, which is what it did. Lengthwise, did this. But now I've got 2 pieces of wood that look like identical twins, and they're lighter than what was on it. And then I went back and put longerons top and bottom, because Tommy designed it with longerons for what reason, I'm not sure. But I guess so you could round the bottom, but the bottom's square. But anyway, I used some really hard wood on that I hope will withstand any twist. And I put in some X braces. So it's probably heavier than it was before, but it might get finished finally. That airplane is, I think he designed it in '96. And Larry Drone was the first one to finish his. Then Tommy's got his finished. And Tommy quit flying his because he's waiting on me to finish mine. And I've been working on mine and haven't got it finished yet. The last 5 years has been a wash with Vicky being sick and everything. But now that she's doing great and we've got some other things hopefully behind us now, this summer should be fun. We should be able to start having fun again. And that's the plane. Tommy told me, I told Tommy a long time ago when he was designing this plane, if he'd let me do one of those, that would be my first nationals plane. Well, I hope this summer is going to be my first nationals. If not, it'll be next year. But that or the Revolution 1 is going to be the first national plane. That Revolution has just blown my mind. I keep thinking about that one.
Pretty impressive.
But it is. I can't think of anything you could do to improve that plane but just practice with it. 2 flights with it, and I said, I told Tran, bring on the judges. This thing is you get so comfortable with it so quick, and the plane will do anything you ask it to do. I have never flown a flapped airplane that I could fly that deep into a corner and make the turn. The TO will do it, but I've never flown a flapped airplane that would do it before. And the TO's kind of, it'll do it, but it pops through it. And it's not as pretty as watching one that really flies through a corner.
Yeah.
So
Charles is asking for our attention here.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have some on the chat box. Minnesota Mike. Hi, Minnesota Mike. Long time
Hey, Mike.
no here. And he says Fresno has combat fly this weekend. So that's
That'll be fun.
that sounds good. That's Fresno, California, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen the flyers. I know Fresno well, man. My brother was stationed at Lemoore Naval Air Station, and he lived in Hanford, right outside of Fresno. I've been to Fresno a bunch of times.
That's right. I forgot you was out here stationed in California. Forgot about
I
that.
was, yeah.
Hey, Howard, your mic is muted, Howard. I muted your mic when you were standing, Howard. So if you want to say something, you have to unmute your mic.
He's grayed out.
I have nothing
I
to
see him
say.
clear. He's
Nothing to say, Howard.
Oh, there he
I'm
is.
trying to figure out why Steve's being so quiet.
I'm just kind of listening. My computer's so screwed up that
That looks
you
nice.
guys are all out of sync, talking over each other and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's been a problem, Steve. I know I had a problem earlier.
Even now?
What image is this? Is this yours, Howard?
No, that's
That's Peter.
Yeah.
That's me. That's where
Right.
I was just continuing to do the cockpit detail for the Pathfinder LE. That's where it's at right now. And I
like your chair, Peter. That's neat.
I came to the that oh geez.
Now, is that my computer or is that Peter?
No, I hear it also.
I hear
it also.
But I figured instead of turning around and scratch building the interior, a lot of times I figured, if you go out and you go to eBay or someplace and you get like 1/16 inch plastic car parts, the trees that on kits that people didn't build. Look at there, you have a pair of seats right there that you could probably make work for model airplanes. So I'm gonna turn around. I'm gonna start a little collection of 1/16 inch model airplane, not model airplane, but plastic car kits, ones that people didn't finish building. They just got these parts trees laying around.
Right.
That would be a great source for those people that want to do a cockpit, a finished out cockpit in their model, rather than cutting everything from balls. It's already molded and it's probably pretty lightweight.
If you get on some of these, like Hobby King, but there's other ones with these foamy electrics, they get pretty fancy with cockpits, and you can buy the parts. I mean, that's what Gary Watts did. He built that. It's not a Spitfire, a Hurricane. And he bought all these parts off of these foamies for the exhaust stacks, the cockpit, all that, and it came out great. And I forget what he said. He had like $10 in the stuff. It was hardly nothing for these little plastic parts. And so he bought up a bunch of them for cockpits and everything.
Yeah, because I figure, even I don't know about pilot heads or anything like that. But I started to get thinking that, of course, trying to figure out what scale you need for your particular model is kind of important. I mean, obviously, it's not going to be 1/8 scale for a car, any car plastic pieces, but I figure 1/16 is about right. And there's all sorts of interesting bits and pieces in there, even because typically, unless you're building scale, for our stunters, your cockpit would be like a fantasy cockpit, the same way as mine's pretty much like a fantasy cockpit, but it was like all cut out of balsa wood pieces. But you can turn around and who says the parts of an engine block or carburetor can't be stuck in there somewhere to just add detail? Would be really easy to do. You don't have to carve anything. You just turn around and paint it up a little bit, and then make it really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Gary said that you find, it'll give you measurements on the airplane, and you find an airplane about the same size as the one you're doing. So then everything is pretty much, it's not really scale, but they give it in millimeters. It's 1,400 millimeters or whatever, and you can get them about the same size as control line.
And that got me thinking. One of the reasons that got me thinking along those lines is that, interestingly enough, and if anybody's watched a science fiction movie or science fiction show, and you look at all these technical hardware they've got in the background, I mean, Jesus, half of the engine bay in Star Trek Discovery was the fusion reactor. I forget what the hell they had, this experimental fusion reactor, and they were shooting scenes, and that's what they used as the engine bay. And some of the engine bay shots were done at a brewery because they had these big stainless steel tanks. And I'm thinking to myself, what we're doing, at least on stunt planes, your cockpits are mainly basically fantasy cockpits. Who's to say you can't take the dashboard from, let's say, 1/16 inch scale Chrysler 3000 and somehow incorporate that into the cockpit of a stunt model?
That's true enough. Makes sense.
I got a comment from the chat box. Tom Rammel. Hey, Tom. Tell Phil Menards has Rust-Oleum Painter's Touch in half-pint cans for $4.24.
Who does?
Menards.
Menards. I don't know if we have a Menards, but I'll look.
And he goes on to say that it's $4.24 each in 20 colors: apple red, gloss, white, deep blue, etc.
So Michael's probably, Menards has it. Mike, if you have a Michael's, they probably carry it.
We've got Michael's.
Isn't Menards like a hardware store? Like a
Menards is just like Home Depot and Lowe's.
Oh, okay.
It's up in the Midwest. It's Michigan, Ohio.
Yeah, it's not down this way.
Then maybe an Ace Hardware.
No, they don't have it at Ace Hardware.
How about True Value?
No, no True Value either. We've got them. They don't have it. Down here, it is Ace True Value. They're together.
I got a question for you guys. It does have a little bit to do with airplanes because you got to see them. But has anyone found good LED lights? I buy these things and some of them
How many
last
you want?
a month.
Oh, okay.
How many you want? I got my brother-in-law owns an electronic distributorship, and we send parts all over the world. That's the reason I can't understand it taking so long to get these motors.
Like I just had another light bulb burn out in the bedroom here. My computer.
Oh, you talking about house lights?
House lights, yeah.
Okay.
I've been going to LEDs, but some of them, I got one that's lasted, I don't know, over a year, and it's out of the same batch. I burnt 3 of them up in like a week.
No, what are you doing in that bedroom to burn them up?
No, not in the bedroom, but I burn up all of them through the house. Now this one just went out, but I was wondering if there was a brand that people are having good luck with.
Steve, depending on where you are in the United States, have you been having problems with power? I mean, Texas obviously had all these problems with power because of the cold snap and stuff. LEDs do not play well with power fluctuations, and that might be your main problem.
But
yeah, we've been having a lot of that.
It's like if I bought a batch of 12, I think, a dozen bulbs. And some of them last a long time, and other ones aren't lasting any time at all. And it's like, they're all screwed into the same power.
Philips is a good manufacturer, is a reputable manufacturer. I don't know what brand you've gotten Philips. Not so much General Electric. Sylvania is another halfway decent, reliable brand.
Yeah, some of them were Sylvania, some of them were something else.
Our power company gives us light bulbs once a year. You'll get a dozen. They'll just send them to you, or they'll arrive on your doorstep. I don't know how they get here. I guess somebody drops them off. But once a year, you get about a dozen bulbs, and usually the next year you've still got some left. But this past year, they've been browning us out so bad, man, that we've been going through bulbs crazy rate. I know what you mean there. It's something's not natural. Something's not right. But I mean, you know, the refrigerator went out. We figured that was from getting brown out. Then the stove, one of the stove burners went out, and the guy came. It's a glass top stove, so I wasn't gonna touch it. He came to change that, and he says, "What in the world's going on, man?" That's what you mean. And he showed me the back of the panel, the pot on the front of the stove where you turn the blade, the burner on. It was black. He said, "Man, y'all been pulling some crazy current through this thing." Huh. So I've put a meter downstairs to measure our power. It's supposed to be 110. I've seen it at 89 volts.
Whoa.
So I called the power company and I said, you know, if y'all going to keep browning us out, we're going to go get a lawyer. Because this ain't doing our appliances any good, and it's a cheating way to make us use more power. So we'll see what happens with that. I don't know.
Is that one in the basement still running okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, the one we fixed. The one trying to, yeah. So far, so good.
Okay, cool.
So I don't know what the heck's going on, Steve. I'm rather mystified. I don't know what's going on with all this crap. Oh, Lordy. I guess I'm going to have to get out of here. I told my wife I'd get off at midnight tonight since it's our 46th anniversary. You believe I had that woman? I had that woman. Thank you, sir. You believe I've had that woman snowed for 46 years?
That's amazing.
Congratulations. She's bound to want to sooner or later.
So hang on, but I think this is for you. Minnesota Mike says, Michaels has floral paint that is light and you can dope over.
I'll go over tomorrow. Tell them thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm trying to find any kind of, I'm telling you. You guys be careful. Have a great week. And no, everybody asked me, how did you make it 46 years? I got lucky the first time. I got a good one. You guys be careful. Have a great week.
Hey, thanks for coming in. Happy anniversary. Take care.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye now.
Hey, Lynn, you still hanging in there? Good.
Well, I wasn't for a while. I just came back on.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I think whatever happened to my computer, I caught that damn Canadian virus from him being on here. Now mine's acting like his.
What can he?
Did you get a haircut, Steve?
No.
Is it falling out?
It fell. It fell out when I was like 18 years old.
Oh, okay.
Me too.
Me too.
But at least I thought as fast as it was falling out that it'd be gone. But it just, in about 3 years, and it's been like this ever since.
All right, Steve. If you get bulbs, it will cost you a bit more. But if you get the LED light bulbs that are they say they're dimmable.
Yeah.
If you're getting dim, they will handle any kind of power fluctuations a heck of a lot better than.
Okay.
Standard.
Well, I've been reading. They say, I've never heard of Cree, CREE light bulbs. But they say they're the highest rated LEDs right now.
Yeah, they put out the most amount of light per electrical usage. That's just a measure of brightness and color. How would I say color accuracy? That's all that means. It doesn't mean anything other than that. They're high performance LEDs, but that doesn't mean anything as far as burning out any sooner than anything else.
Well, the bitch is I got a vaulted ceiling in the front room, and it always seems that it's the real high ones at the peak that go out. And I gotta go get the damn ladder. And
like I said, go out and get ones that they're marked as being dimmable, and they're more tolerant of voltage fluctuations. For the reason is they're designed so you can put a dimmer on them and make them lower or brighter without them going nuts.
Okay, because I've seen them and I did. Because it's like hell, none of my stuff is dimmable.
No, it doesn't necessarily have to be. but they are more they're designed.
That makes sense, though. It really does.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
All righty, you guys. We're going to transition to the after party. I want to thank everybody for showing up. I really appreciate it. And we had a little bit of chatter on the chat box. I don't remember Andrew Sketcher, so it was nice to see a new face. And then we had Mike Lonke out there and Craig Biswick and Brent Williams. Thanks for your help with the audio, Brent. And Minnesota Mike, thanks again for your comments. And Tom Rammel, thanks for the suggestion for Phil. So we
how many likes did you get, Charles? Because I like tonight.
We have 22 likes right now.
Good.
And that's pretty good. Because we get a lot of replays, so hopefully it'll grow. But thank you very much. And apologize for any audio or delay, and we'll fix this in time. But we're going to transition to the after party. Now, to get into the after party, you have to be, I'm getting a backup or echo. Anyways, you have to be a registered member of stunthangar.com/SMF, and you must put a space between your first and real last name, and you must use a valid email address or Sparky will not approve you. That way you can be registered into Stunthangar, and then you can find the link at the place called At the Bench. So with that, we're going to transition to the after party. And thank you. We'll see you guys or gals out there. We'll see you again this